Since the beginning of entertainment, music has played an incredibly crucial role in storytelling, from the bards of old to present-day film scoring and everything in between. With advances in technology, we have seen music and sound quality greatly increase in multimedia. Some may disagree, but the advancements have been positive for me as an audience member and helps me connect to the story that much better and more closely than ever before. However, as a composer, I can't quite decide whether this change has been positive or negative. If we go back in time, we find that the lack of technology placed severe limitations on composers when it came to the media they were working with. Unless you were composing for an orchestra or band that would perform the piece live in concert, your work wouldn't be fully realized. The most extreme cases would be the limitations on video game composers back in the 80s, where they could only write music that had 3 notes playing at the same time. I can't imagine having to create an entire soundtrack with those parameters. However, the lack of technology drove the composers to dig down deep and focus on the vision of the music rather than the production value of the music itself for the time being. It involved an amount of imagination that has become an increasingly rare quality. As time moved on, our technology increased to an unfathomable level, and today composers have entire orchestras within their computer and at their fingertips at any time. This unprecedented machinery allows us to create music in such a way that 10 years ago we couldn't even imagine. Software not only allows us to work with and manipulate instruments that we have never actually played, but is becoming more and more affordable to the semi-professionals and hobbyist composers. I won't lie and say I don't enjoy it. Actually, I love it so much that it borders on the obsessive. But I have to take a step back and ask, has this technology really helped us expand our creativity and imagination? This technology allows us to create pieces of work that sound near complete before we ever let a director, a producer, or even a project manager even hear it. The mock-ups that can be made by composers are becoming more and more realistic, and many of these, quote, mock-ups actually become the finished product. While this direction is not an inherently bad trend, I've noticed an alarming and worrying condition that has developed. One of the first jobs I had out of college involved me running the day-to-day operations of a music studio. The man in charge was what I would call a genuine musical genius. A client would ask for, say, a song in the heavy metal genre. The boss man would sit down at the piano and bang something out that was nothing close to heavy metal, but yet he was ready for the recording session. I would book the musicians he needed, and we'd do a full session with them. I would watch in amazement as I heard the song come together under his guidance with the players. It astounded me the gift and ability of foresight that he had for all musical genres from such a simple concept. Another time I sat down with the director of a project I was working on and showed them a very simple concept for a piece of music with piano and some string pads. While listening, I explained what would be happening instrumentally. They looked at me incredulously and canned the piece of music, saying that it wasn't, quote, complex enough, and instructed me to try again. Instead of creating a brand new piece, I sat down and fully orchestrated the original piece. I played it for them, and they went positively bonkers for it, saying that this is what they had been looking for, and that this piece of music was far and above better than the original concept. To say that this is worrying is an understatement. Gone are the days that project leaders, directors, producers, and yes, even composers are capable of envisioning a piece of work from the beginning. It's both sad and frustrating in the sense that we, the composers, can easily spend numerous hours on a demo or concept and still have it turned down. The lack of imagination hampers the creative process in such a way that true creativity is harder to come by. These advancements were once tools that were used to bring our creativity to life. They have now turned into the crutches that are relied upon to discover our creativity. Composers are spending more time finding the right sounds than actually creating. I am just as guilty of this as the next, and my compositions have suffered for it. Our vision for our work has dwindled down to a form in which we are incapable of imagination unless we can create the finished product from the beginning. I am not ignorant or arrogant enough to proclaim these tools and this technology as a bad path. It is truly amazing what we can accomplish from our own home studios, and this has the ability to make us more versatile as composers. However, it's vital that we don't fall into the trap where these tools become our only lifeline to composing. Utilize them and accept them for what they are. They are merely a means for your creativity. When they become our sole focus and support, we need to be wary and work to change our method. In the end, don't let the tools control your creativity. Let your creativity control the tools.